I've settled in quite nicely. My little home has become quite lively. The dreams are getting more intense. I need something else to focus on. I've begun work on a new project. A building. I spend far too many hours hunched over books on the floor. I've decided I would be far more productive if I made a space dedicated to my work. I'm planning on making a few more farms and moving my animals to a better location. I intend to build another small house for my office. I've already got the blueprints drafted, I just need to gather the materials. I've been to the main city a couple of times, but have yet to actually see anyone so far. As much as I'd like this place to be a ghost town, it is not. There are lots of people here, and if I plan to stay much longer, I really must get to know some of them. I just seem to come when no one is around. I've done a fair bit of exploring, so my map is getting pretty full. I'm going to have to add some more paper to my atlas, or I'm going to run out of space. There's what looks like a prison a couple hundred blocks away from my house. I'm not sure what it's for, or even if it's a prison. There are a bunch of cells, but only one is holding something, a zombie villager. I want to learn more about the history of Kaspia. I found an archive. I might go check it out tomorrow. I would think for how many libraries and archives are in this place, there would be a decent timeline somewhere. I must have not found it yet. Instead of running around trying to find it, I have decided I will make my own makeshift timeline. It all starts with Prime. Prime came upon a collection of space debris that had formed a sphere and saw unlimited potential. So she positioned the world so that she could sustain life. She brought food and water to the planet, and then plants and small animals. This world was where she created her first human. The humans loved Prime. Soon the world began to thrive. Prime created many gods to help her: Demeus, Lucetta, Sunny, and Melodian. The only problem was that they were mortal. They died. She created more in their place. At some point, Damon flees to the surface, running from poachers. He reaches the overworld, but soon realizes he won't survive long. He calls out for any god that would listen. Prime hears his prayers and takes pity on him. Unlike her other gods, she gave Damon immortality. He was charged with watching over the mortals. About 1,200 years ago, the gods of time created artifacts to help the mortals. These artifacts caused more harm than they ever did help. The tulip, the candle, Demeus's artifact, the mirror. Damon oversaw a great war for around 300 years before he destroyed the artifacts and declared that the mortals could never cause such devastation with war ever again. About 456 years ago, Damon followed Prime to a city called Nox. He met Callahan, one of Prime's champions. They are drawn to each other instantly despite Damon's age. Callahan taught Damon about love. Time passes and the two were in charge of looking after a mountain city called Asmarin. Damon meets a pregnant woman named Junie. They quickly become friends, but unfortunately Junie dies, giving birth to April. Damon promises to take care of her. Damon and Callahan spend years in Asmarin taking care of the city in April. Callahan is murdered and Damon learns what loss truly feels like. Grief overtook him and he slowly began to avoid his responsibilities. There seems to be something growing in Kaspia. This skulk is interesting. I'll have to keep an eye on it. Damon's immortality came at a great cost. Prime was sick. She began corrupting the world she had helped to flourish. Damon leaves April to go take care of Prime. In an act of great fear, she begs Damon to lock her in the end. He carries out her wish. When Damon gets back to Asmarin, he learns that the city's church had sacrificed April. In a fit of rage, he destroys the church and leaves the town to crumble. During his rampage, he makes Akino and Adelia out of the body and soul of April. He takes care of them as best he can. The twins slowly drift apart, but Damon doesn't notice until one day when he wakes up and they are both gone. And with them, all of Kaspia. 300 years later, they come back with new faces and new stories. I found a sentient library the other day. It's in the middle of a snowy mountain. It has quite the collection of books, notes, and diaries. My office is finished and I really like how it looks. The upstairs is comfortable and I have a great view. It's perfect. The downstairs is a little bit messy, but I'm the only one going down there, so it doesn't really matter. There's no clear reason why Akano and Adelia separated Kaspia, only that a series of arguments led to a war that ended in the split. It's unclear whether there was an actual war or not. The two are still working things out. I've got quite the collection of items and books I found in my travels. None of the books I have are originals. It took me forever to copy everything, but at least I have my own copies now. I found an underground tunnel the other day. It has no clear purpose or destination. I can't tell if it's a sewer system or an underground network, but it's definitely not a catacomb system. And so we reach modern day Kaspia. There is a lot going on, and I still haven't gotten a good hold on what's actually happening. But I owe much of my success to the archivist and their assistant. My new course of study, the people of Kaspia.